What's going on, guys? It's Asal, and today we're going to have a little bit of a chat about a little confrontation that recently occurred between Blizzard, the creators of Overwatch, and Microsoft and Sony, who, if you aren't aware, are the companies behind Xbox and PlayStation. The source of this confrontation stems from the fact that keyboard and mouse are not supported by the console versions of Overwatch, but there are third-party devices that still allow our players to use them anyway. Now, these devices do more than simply allow the use of PC peripherals, as some of them, such as the Zim, even go as far as to negate the effects of aim assist, dead zones, and other controller-specific technologies that would be undesirable to have with a mouse and keyboard. So essentially, you get the full deal with the mouse and keyboard. Nothing is holding you back as far as the console goes. Now, the information about these devices is purely through research. I haven't actually used one of these adapters on a console, though I imagine from what it sounds like they're saying, it sounds like it's pretty close to the PC experience. Essentially, these devices allow for a much faster and precise aiming experience via the mouse and keyboard in an environment where everyone else is using a controller, unless of course they have the adapter as well, but chances are most people won't. Before you get all in a huff about me ragging on consoles, bear with me for a few more minutes. Now, I used to play a ton of shooters on Xbox, well actually just Halo on Xbox, but I played a ton of Halo and I have nothing against the platform or the controller. As a matter of fact, I have an Xbox controller sitting with me right now that I use for certain PC games. So I'm just stating that a controller is not as precise as a mouse and keyboard for a game like a first-person shooter, which is completely fine. Now, the problem is that when the two input devices are used in an environment where the superior device isn't easily accessible. The gameplay that you've been watching in the background has all been with a mouse and keyboard, but I'm about to show you some gameplay of a controller instead. Now, mind you, what you're seeing is someone who is not very good with a controller, and I also don't have aim assist since I'm playing on the PC, so I'm just kind of trying to make things work. But overall, just try and notice the speed at which things happen, specifically things like turning and snapping to a target. So just watch that gameplay, take it in, notice things. Now let's switch to something else. Now, this gameplay is filmed in the same map with the same hero, but now I'm using a mouse and keyboard. Now sure, my aim is obviously quite a bit better because that's what I'm used to, but let's put aim aside for a second. Just try to do that and just notice things like, again, target acquisition, how quickly I can snap to a target, or how quickly I can turn around in a controlled manner. The thing is that movement with a mouse isn't bound by anything other than the surface area that you have to use it, whereas a controller joystick can only move as far as the plastic housing allows. So with a mouse, you can move potentially, like theoretically, like infinitely fast, or really slow depending on how you set up your sensitivity, how much space you have. The thing is, the two methods of input are very different and each present their own set of advantages and disadvantages, but in the context of Overwatch and shooters in general, mouse and keyboard is the better option. Bringing this all back to devices that allow the use of mouse and keyboard on console, Blizzard's argument is that these devices create an unfair playing field, and I have to agree. One could argue that on PC, both mouse and keyboard and the controller inputs are allowed, so why can't the same be true for consoles? Well, the problem is that mouse and keyboard isn't actually supported on consoles, so it's not as simply as easy as just plugging in a mouse and keyboard. This comes back to creating that level playing field, because I don't have a Zim, I don't have this adapter, but other people have it. It's from the gate, it's an unfair playing field. The bottom line is that this environment is not fair for everyone, and a lot of people, Blizzard included, and I'm sure myself would be if I was a console player, but I'm still kind of annoyed. It's still kind of annoying, and Blizzard has asked Sony and Microsoft to either disallow the use of these third-party input devices or to simply allow mouse and keyboard to be easily accessible to all players. Both of these options have the same goal, which is to create a level playing field for all players, which really is of the utmost importance in any competitive setting. Now, whether or not something will happen in regards to Sony and Microsoft, I can't really say. I know Microsoft has said in the past that they will implement mouse and keyboard, but we haven't seen anything as of yet. I think the easiest option would be just to say, hey, no third-party devices, you know, it wouldn't be costing them any revenue, well, maybe indirectly, but it's just the easiest option. And I think in a shooter like Overwatch, a competitive game, you really can't have these externalities causing that unfair playing field. Leave a comment down below as to what you think of these third-party devices allowing mouse and keyboard on the consoles. Is it fair? Is it unfair? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to chat with you guys. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more Overwatch videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now everyone, this has been Asal. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.